Well, this is me from the future. We got the trans back in, and we're gonna see the video on it. But there's a really big heartbreak on the end. Had nothing to do with transmission. Give you a little sneak peek down here. That'll be in the next video. And what I find is I can't explain it, but you'll see it too. So let's get on this transmission. It's actually pretty easy. One of the big things to do, of course, everybody does, not just me, is cleanliness. Clean everything out. Clean the crank too. You're gonna oil it, don't worry about it. And what we have here is a brand new Honda Seal. This was hard to find, but a lot of people have it. What, baby? I don't know. She might be on the porch. Little girl. But after I found it, because no numbers crossed over, I wanted to hurry and get it, so it was $30 to get it in 2 days off Amazon. But I could have got it cheaper, but I had to wait like a month, but I wasn't waiting that long. And the diameter on these, inside diameter is 80, outer diameter 100, and it's 10 millimeters. So it's 80 by 100, yeah, 80 by 100 by 10. And this particular one has actually got, it's got a little bit of grease on the inside for the seal already for you. But here's something extra I do. Some guys have seen this. I don't know how many have. I know guys that I have worked with many years ago. I've shown them it happened and what I do to remedy it. When you start whooping these things in, that inner spring right in there that holds the spring pressure, the spring pressure holds the seal against the mating surface on the crank or whatever shaft. I've seen them pop out, especially in transmission front seals, like on C4, C6s. Not saying Fords, but just to let you know, automatic transmissions. And I've also seen them on front seals on Chevrolets. It's just you got to whoop them so hard sometimes that just a mechanical shock will pop that spring out. So what I do, and I'm sure a lot of you have already discovered this, on the inside, put grease on the inside, and it helps hold that seal in place. I'm not putting any on the outside, just on the inside. So let me get this all greased up. We'll come back around. You ain't gonna put it everywhere, just about, not the whole circumference, but just some of it, just to hold that in there. And it works. First thing is you're whooping in a Chevrolet seal, front main seal on a Chevrolet, and you look down, you see the spring dangling on the crank snout. I pulled them out leaking. People said they had it done not long ago. It started leaking again pretty quick, and it's because they've been driven in and it knocked the spring off. So it's happened to me at least 3-4 times, at least. And I said, well, I gotta fix this. All right, like I said, put nothing on. There's plenty of grease on this right here on the inner lip. Yes, baby. Okie dokie. It's put a little on the leading edge. that. Then just work it around. Seal goes in good, just like that. You think, how I'm going to drive it flush? Well, you can do that with a single hammer. I've had been in real tight situations where I just start pecking with a brass hammer all the way around, and eventually it just goes in. But what we have is the perfect driving tool, the old seal. And you can just stick that on there, over it. This is a little warped. Let's get the idea. You're getting my physics here, I'm sure. And that one gets driven in below the deck, well, below the this is a very bad angle here with the trying to get the camera in there too. So let's take a look. It's a little offset, so we're gonna adjust. Right there, it's still a little off, but I'll get it in there. All right. There we go. That looks good. All right. Over the years, I've kind of made me some either store-bought drivers, or I've put some stuff together to do bearings and stuff, so, and seals. So we're just gonna find something that'll line up and bait it. Man. It was right in there. See, it ain't hard. See, it's out. Flip it over, so it's got that lip right there. So just kind of clean it out a little bit at least. So at least seat all the way. Grab your new one. No, I'm not going to use that. You want to put the force on the outside. So it's fully seated. Feels good. Alright, I was ready to go. Alright. Easy peasy. Lemon squeeze. If you wonder what that fits, I know Brian Block knows, and a lot of y'all diesel guys, big truck guys, y'all know what that fits. Now what we're doing here is, see, this bolt was loose. So let's get this apart. And see if we can repair that. See, this arm comes out, and it just falls out like that. And it holds on to that spring, and holds on to the throttle bearing. So it's good to feel the throttle bearing. What it rides on is called the input shaft retainer. That's what we like to call it, but Sometimes it's not an actual retainer. But anyway, and it is smooth as glass. And the input shaft, look, there's no play. It sounds rough. I have no fluid in it. All right, well, this is what needs to be repaired. I'm going to chase it from the back side to clean the threads, and then we'll see how we're going to do these. And I'll tell you what, them skaters are thick today. And that's a spring washer. I'm sorry the audio's still bad. My mic's supposed to come in today. It didn't. You know, good old USPS. So if you hear me between all these cars going by, I got the rear main in. We got that fixed. You know, that bolt was an issue. So we're ready to stab this thing. So let me get the flywheel and the pressure plate on. Put up, got a clutch. All right, let's get the refurbished flywheel up. See where that hole was. Not cleaned up that good. All right, that top of there. Cheated and looked at the dowel hole, even though it doesn't have a dowel pin, it's got like a dowel hole, and saw where the matching mark is from the crank to the flywheel and use that as a cheat. Even though it might go in every direction, I don't know. Don't look balanced. It looked like 20 foot-pounds. See, that goes in easy. 20 foot-pounds. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Alright. Alright. I need to pull that back out. That's too easy. Everything lined up perfect. Well, you know, they say the reverse of putting something in is the reverse of putting it out, and taking it out, and reverse of taking it out is putting, I don't know. Anyway, that's what I'm doing. Exact opposite of taking it out. I think I put that in there. Well, we got to get some bolts in the morning, so we're gonna call it a night. All right, I'm gonna end this video here. Apparently, it's got a drivability issue. I'll get that panned out. It's weird how the code's just up and changed on the crank sensor. No explanation, but I did leave something unhooked, the out of control assembly, when I was tightening something else up for the transmission. Transmission's just fine. You might have heard some noises, some knocking, because this one is half locked up and it's trying to break free, and the differential is going crazy. So we got it runs. The coolant fan turned on like it's supposed to. It's time to change the oil now. I wanted some heat cycles to run through. Other than the weird idle, everything seems to be fine. I'll get that panned away. I got two ideas in my brain. I get that panned out and get these. It's enough to run. Right? It's enough to run efficiently. These are just vacuum brakes, is what those are. Basically, other than tires and bleeding the brakes, I can pretty much drive this. So, well, like I said, I'm gonna wrap it up right here. This is gonna turn into a drivability real quick, and this was a transmission video. So, there's a big chunk of the video that was missing to the first startup. So I noticed it when I was putting videos on my. I was running out of space on my card, so I was transferring them over, and I noticed it was only like half of what it should be. So all the first start of all that, I had to kind of recreate a little bit, but I'll let y'all know that it wasn't nothing false. So, and we run into a drivability issue off the get-go, so we had to correct that before we can physically test the transmission. But we're good to go on the transmission.
Barely hear it. Y'all can see the timing light going off over there with the, it looks a little, it's even on my end. It's the frequency rate of the camera. But you can see, we're doing good. This plug wire came apart. So, I see kicked in right there, and the dash pipe barely even moved. Anyway, I think we're good to go. What we had found is, if you can tell, I have the belts off. Don't worry, the water pump's turning internally. I had it one tooth advanced, so the high idle between that and the AIC was dirty as all get out. We got that corrected, so I'm not even going to clean the injectors right now. I'm just going to just run this thing, because it seems to be all right. I need plug wires. They haven't come apart, and it's got a little stumble when I goose it. It's smooth right there, but got a little stumble, and I can feel it, a single cylinder misfire. So, but we're doing good. Yep. Put the belts back on, and I'm gonna button everything up, so all it needs is a battery under here. We're good for first test drive under the hood. All we need now is tires. Kind of important.
So, God bless, and y'all have a good weekend. I don't know when this one's going, because there's another video in front of this one about the brakes, I think.
It ain't leaving.